guys, welcome to the newest episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. Now, as always, I'm your host, The Bearded Gamer, Chris Arnone, and I am filming at Motaku, all right? I'm actually at the Gamers Paradise booth in the vendor room, all right? These guys are sponsoring our modern game room with all kinds of awesome systems, games, prize support for the tournaments. Fantastic little store. You can come and see them here or head over to their shop. It's awesome, all right? It's at 7658 State Line Road in Prairie Village, Kansas. So it's just barely in Kansas over on State Line across from Missouri. Awesome little shop. It's like 5 minutes from my house, one of my favorite places. Go check them out. All right, let's hit some good news, bad news. So first up this week, we got some good news, all right? Borderlands 2 has gone gold, okay? Now that means it is officially, code is done, it's on the disc, it's shipped off through quality control and being printed for our mass consumption next month when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. Looking so forward to that game. But there's some bonus good news, all right? They're apparently ahead of schedule for their DLC work, so we may be seeing the Mechromancer sooner than we initially thought we would, which is just fantastic. And of course, like I said before, Borderlands had the highest attach rate for DLC on the Xbox 360, so they make just great quality DLC. Let's hope they keep it up with Borderlands 2. Some more good news. Actually, I'll clarify right now. It's all good news this week, all right? It's fantastic. All right, so next up, speaking of Borderlands 2, if you're in the market for a better, but maybe not top-end video card, okay, walk quickly. There we go. Thank you. If you buy an NVIDIA graphics card, you will get Borderlands 2 for free. Now, this includes the just-launched GTX 660 Ti. It's sort of a mid-range. It's not like the 680 or the 690. It's in that, $200-300 range. It's a great card if you're needing to upgrade so you can play Borderlands 2, but you don't have the cash to drop on one of their super high-end cards. All right? More good news. PS1 classics are finally coming to the PlayStation Vita, all right? Now, they're saying this is going to come on August 28th, finally. I keep saying before, this is something that should have been on the PlayStation Vita to begin with. If you want to sell this to people, you want people to convert from the PSP to the PlayStation Vita, you need to give them all the features you gave them on the PlayStation Portable, including PS1 classics. I mean, being able to play Final Fantasy VII on the go is fantastic. Give it back to us. We're finally getting it now. Better late than never. Last piece of good news, Red 5, which is the studio behind Firefall, is hiring numerous laid-off BioWare and 38 Studios employees. This is always great news. A lot of really talented people were in this, and they've lost their jobs because of either, Star Wars: The Old Republic not doing what they thought it would do, or the whole calamity behind 38 Studios with Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning just having ridiculous needs in order to break even. So it's good to know that those people are landing on their feet, getting new jobs with Red 5. All right, that does it for my good news, bad news. Let's get into a controller confessional. So recently, there was this whole hullabaloo, and with all the video game journalists and Twitter and Facebook and everything about OnLive, we weren't sure what was happening. There were reports of layoffs, there were reports of them shutting down, and we just didn't know what was happening, and finally they gave us the news. They have indeed laid off pretty much all of their employees. OnLive has been bought out by some sort of brand new business venture. We don't know the name of it, but it has been bought out wholesale, but it will keep running at least for now. Now, this is a really huge deal. You got to really wonder, what does this all mean? Okay, now some things going into this. First off, we know OnLive raised somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion to $1.5 billion as a startup. It was absolutely tremendous. Now, their biggest rival, Gaikai, which granted didn't get as much notoriety as OnLive, was sold to Sony for $318 million. Now, if you think for just a second that maybe the value of OnLive is somewhere close to Gaikai, that's going to make all of the investors crap their pants, all right? Because that is way lower than the $1 billion to $1.5 billion that was invested in this venture. So that's a little scary. That could make your investors a little shaky and give you problems and maybe a reason to sell. So there's a lot of problems that went into this. And obviously it means OnLive didn't grab hold the way we hoped it would. And there's several reasons for that. First off, it had no big exclusives. And also there were a lot of publishers that just never got on OnLive. And there's many reasons for this. Primarily among them is that these publishers really don't want to anger their retailers. That's still where the vast majority of their income comes from. And you don't want to piss them off with exclusives or, a lot of titles, because then your retailers are going, well, why should I give you such a great deal when you're going straight to cloud at the same time? So there's a lot of things there. So what does this mean for cloud gaming? Right now it's hard to say. With Gaikai going straight over to Sony, That could be big for them. It could also totally redefine how cloud gaming works. Now, what I think will have the bigger effect on cloud gaming in the future is Google Fiber, and how Google Fiber will affect internet across the country. Everybody will have to evolve or die and give us faster internet, and that could be huge for cloud gaming. But we'll just have to wait and see how the chips fall with OnLive and cloud gaming as a whole. That does it for this controller confessional and this video from Motaku. Hey, go check out Gamer Paradise. Awesome shop. See you guys next time.